Hey Capricorn, hope you're doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Happy May 2018. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these a few more times and then we'll get started. Again, this is for Capricorn, May 2018. Hope you're doing fantastic. All right. As you know, I pre-shuffle, but I like to add a little more energy before we get started. So, this is a general read. Check your sun, moon, and rising. As some months, those may resonate with you more than others. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are greatly appreciated. Again, it's really important that you remember it's general, because I do get a lot of people who, ask particular questions. And if you want to know more about yourself or pertaining to you specifically, then you can get a private read, and the information is in the description. So, Capricorn, let's see what we have in store for you. As you know, this is for love. Anybody looking for love and anybody looking to reconcile. I generally focus on singles or people looking for love, but I will touch base on reconciliation as well. I'm not doing relationships. I get a lot of questions about that, but my reads would be substantially long if I did relationships. So I'm debating on doing a mid-month. If that's something that interests you, let me know. Otherwise, generally it's singles or people looking for reconciliation that contact me for private reads, have questions, regarding what I'm posting, etc. So let's see what is going on with Capricorn for 2018. May, I'm going to pull your theme of the month card and then we'll get moving. I am trying to limit these to close to 20-25 minutes. I usually go over a little bit, but I have shortened them up quite a bit, and that came out immediately, so we'll pull that one. You have the World, which I love the World. That's a beautiful card. So if you're single or looking to reconcile, this is definitely about a completion. So if you're single, this means some sort of completion. Maybe you're tired of being single, so you've decided to start dating again. So you're starting the dating life, so to speak. Or you may have met one or two people and you're thinking that there's a possibility that one of these people could be somebody that you want to spend a lot of time with. Could be somebody that, really fulfills something that you're looking for, because this card is about fulfillment, accomplishment, belonging, etc. So if you're single, this definitely says that you might be dating people. You may have met one person or two people that you're kind of like, hey, there's a feeling of belonging here. There's a feeling of finally getting out of the singleton. You may not be there yet, but you're feeling like, I could definitely see myself possibly growing with this person into, something pretty spectacular. Again, end of completion. So for some of you, I think it may just be ending, being alone and deciding that you do want to look for somebody. May not be like rushing into it, but we'll see. I mean, this is the last card of the Major Arcana. The next card you have is the Fool, which is the beginning of the Major Arcana. So we'll see if you have any major beginnings coming up here. Again, if you're single, this is definitely good. This is moving towards a specific goal or specific, love goal for you, or relationship goal, whatever you're looking for. If you're looking to reconcile, this means two things to me. It means either throughout the month, you're going to have some sort of contact. If you already are in contact, you may start feeling like you're getting over whatever the angst was, getting over the animosity, getting over the stage of not being able to be together, and you might be able to pull back together and kind of proceed down the same road together. However, this tells me that some of you are doing the opposite. Some of you are saying, no longer letting this hold me down. I'm no longer letting this be a part of my life anymore. I don't need to hang on to this hope of reconciliation anymore, and you want to move on. Because again, the world is ending a cycle and starting a new cycle. So for reconciliation, I really think it's 50-50. We'll see what the rest of the read has to say. So coming into the month, you have your current position, which is the frickin' Fool, which is the beginning I was just talking about. So you have an ending and a beginning. You have the Fool card right here, which is the beginning of the Major Arcana. The Fool is, again, this is fearlessness. This is potential. This is possibility. So if you're single, this month is going to be full of possibilities. I think that some of you are kind of feeling like, okay, now's the time to really put some energy into it. And some of you may have put energy into dating before, but it's been just kind of like, well, I'll see what's out there. I'm not really going to focus on what they're looking for, or what, you know, I'm just going to kind of have fun with it. I'm not going to put too much effort or energy to really set a goal. And the Fool is saying you're going out there now fearless, kind of like, you know, let's see what fish are in the sea. Let's see, you know, what's out there for me. Like, you're excited about it, and you're kind of going, all right, I'm going to do this with eyes wide open, and let's go get this. Whatever it is to you, whether it's you just want to date exclusively, or you want, you know, a marriage and family, to each his own. But this is saying you're embracing it wholeheartedly, and you're ready to start fresh. Some of you haven't been dating at all. Some of you have been dating, but again, not focusing. And now you're focused. You're completely focused on what your end game is in the world of love. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is a new beginning. So again, I'm still torn 50-50, because I feel like you're coming into the month where some of you are like, hey, this is a new beginning for us. This is a potential for us. We can do this together. We can make this happen. And for others of you, this is you saying, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to spread my wings and start something new. But it's taken you a while to get here. You really have had some sort of, you know, connection with this person, and you thought, I'm never going to get over them. But for whatever reason, maybe something pushed you last month, or you're just, you know, kind of, you know, spring showers bring May flowers, starting anew, smelling the roses, ready to get a fresh start. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens. The next card you have, sorry, and my nails again, and my stuff over here is falling down. Next card you have is anything eternal you're coming into the month with. So anything you're worried about or thinking about, or anything that could be challenging you or helping you coming into the month. And you have the Four of Coins. Now, the Four of Coins is kind of a miserly, like, possessiveness. So it's very counterintuitive to the Fool, which is very interesting because a lot of reads have started out this way this month. I don't know if it's like people are kind of in limbo or what's going on, because a lot of people have had like a really positive card here and then a not so positive, or vice versa. The Four of Coins is somebody who's hanging on to something that they don't really need to hang on to. They're being kind of frugal about it. So if you're looking for love, some of you, I think, if I'm going to be completely upfront and honest in this without sounding too harsh, some of you want to be single or enjoy a type of single life, if that makes sense, and yet you still want somebody. It's like you're having a hard time giving up on your independence. You kind of have this doubt of, if I find somebody, I'm going to have to change too many things that I enjoy about my life. Or if I find somebody, things in my life will change. And so it's like, you're ready to meet somebody, you really want to meet somebody, but you just don't know that you have the faith that there's somebody out there that could really connect with your world, or really, you know, make it better. Because the point of finding somebody and having that connection is somebody who makes you feel that fulfillment and makes you feel that belonging. And this is you. Luckily, this card is internally, but if you're single, this definitely says that some of you are going, I don't know, I mean, my life's been pretty good, and love seems to complicate things, and dating can be dramatic, or whatever. So I'm ready. I really want to find somebody. I'm tired of being single. I want to complete that chapter. I'm ready to, you know, to set out and meet somebody, but I don't know. Like, I've really got things. It's almost like some of you have such a routine of being alone and being in a singleton type pattern that unless this person's going to bring, you know, something better, you're just not sure you're willing to give up that independence or the lifestyle you're accustomed to. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is like, it's still very 50-50, because this is saying, hey, if you guys do decide that you're going to reconcile, you're a little nervous that it'll be kind of like one-sided, that maybe you'll be willing to give, you know, your energy and your desires and your heart back into it, but you're not sure that they will. So you're kind of like, well, I'm only going to give as much as you are, or you know, you're only giving a little, so I'm only going to give a little. It's like you're being a little possessive over your heart, but some of you, it feels like you have the right to be. Some of you, it feels like you should be, because you know, you've been hurt before by this person, and so you're kind of going, all right, I'm excited to see, like, we have contact, or I'm excited to see if we could go somewhere. But at the same time, you're like, but don't expect me to give you all my all right now, because, you know, I'll give you an inch and you got to come an inch. I'm not going to just throw myself back out there and risk getting hurt again. Now, on the opposite, it could be that you are going to start fresh and new. You're going to, you know, sever that connection with this person for reconciliation, and you are feeling very like, I may go out there and meet people, but I'm not going to give anybody my heart right now. I am not willing to sacrifice the things I've sacrificed. I'm not willing to give that energy or put that energy into anything right now. I just kind of want to make sure that I can get over this connection before I jump into something. It's almost like you're feeling footloose and fancy free. So again, with the reconciliation, it feels kind of 50-50 still. The next card you have is anything over the past 5-10 years. This is your distant past. So I always read this together for singles and anybody looking to reconcile. And this is Justice, which immediately is Libra. So some of you may be dealing with a Libra or an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But this is saying at some point you had some major decisions to make. Now, Justice a lot of times makes me think, when it's in this past position of like a past relationship, this definitely makes me think of divorce, some sort of having to go through, you know, the court system, having to battle some sort of situation where, you know, it was either in your favor or not in your favor. This is about cause and effect and absolutes. It's also about morality. So at some point, some of you were dating somebody who just didn't treat you well. There was infidelity here. There was cheating. There was this dishonesty. There was lies. Maybe you watched your parents go through a divorce. Maybe you watched siblings, you know, grown siblings go through a divorce, etc. Justice right here for me, for you Capricorn, is definitely talking about some sort of break that was like a cause and effect. Like somebody cheated and therefore here came a divorce. Or, you know, somebody was abusive and therefore eventually, you know, that break came. It could even be like addictions, you know, at some point somebody was addicted and an intervention came or some sort of sobriety came. And this is in the past, but it definitely tells me that somebody's actions may have, like a parent cheated, or it feels like for some of you it was even when you were young, like a parent cheated, or and it changed your whole world. It changed everything. It's like because of that one person's actions, everything in your life changed. And some of you may have a hard time forgiving that, like you know, was a cheating parent or a grandparent, or could even be lies, somebody went to jail. But there's definitely some sort of, at one point, you know, justice was served, so to speak. And some of you have a hard time giving away your heart or believing in love, and it's been detrimental to some of your relationships because of those factors, because you're like, I'm not willing to go through that again. And that may be why some of you are feeling very frugal with your heart, regardless of whether you're looking to reconcile or whether you're looking for love. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past few weeks, past month or so, and you have Strength, which is Leo's card, which is a fire sign card. So you could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But Strength is a beautiful card. This is about patience overall. You would think it's about strength, and it is, but it's also about patience. It's about letting things that are supposed to happen. It's about letting the universe take the wheel. So if you're single, this definitely says you're willing to be patient. So you're wanting to get back in the dating world. You want to see what's out there, but you're going to be patient. Some of you have been kind of like fly off the handle, not in a bad way, but like, oh, I'm so excited. I met this person. I think they're great. And it hasn't worked out in your favor. And this is you saying, excuse me, I'm going to have self-control here, self-belief. I love the Strength card because this is saying you're agreeing to let the universe take the wheel, or God, or, you know, whoever it is you believe in, or whatever you believe in. This is you saying there's something higher at work here. And Strength is a self-belief in you, in knowing that if you're being the best person you can be, or if you're putting out into the universe what you want, you know, if you're putting out there, hey, I just want sex, then that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get sex and a meaningful relationship. If you are putting out there that, hey, I'm a genuine person, then you'll get genuinity. I don't even know if that's a word. You'll get a genuine person back. Now, not all the time. I know some of you are like, Dark Dove, I've been through, you know, I've said this, or I've talked to people and I thought they were genuine and they've screwed me over. Well, you know what? That sucks. And we've all been there. But if we continue to assume that's what's going to happen to us, then that's what we allow to come back into our lives. What we accept and allow is what we are going to get. But instead, if we believe in ourselves and we control the situation, you can't control everything, but come on. I mean, I hear people all the time who are like, oh, I was dating and he or she lied to me. But then they go back through all these things and it was there right in front of their face and they didn't see it. And I feel like Capricorn, this month you're going, I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to take the time to meet the person who's going to be special and significant in my life. I'm not giving my heart to just anybody. I'm excited about it, but I have the patience. I have the patience to understand that it's not going to be the first person I meet online, more than likely. It may not even be the 10th person I meet online. And you're okay with that because you know it's coming. Something bigger than yourself is at play here. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is also patience. So this tells me if you are considering reconciliation and you do want this fresh start and you want to end the cycle of like no contact, then this is, hey, then you're going to have patience with it because it may not happen overnight. It may not jump back into a major relationship. But you have to believe in yourself and making the best decision for you. I feel like some of you know whether reconciliation is right for you or not, and yet you're not really believing in yourself, or you haven't, and now you are. If I'm being like straight out of the gate here, Capricorn, I feel like a majority of you reconciling is not going to be a good idea. And the reason I say that is because this Strength card is what you would need to get over and sever that connection and start fresh. End this cycle and the completion, you know, or finally complete that cycle and go out on a limb and believe in yourself and believe in your strength and be patient that somebody better is coming along. That is really what I'm getting here energy-wise. But for some of you, there is the possibility that it's coming forth. But you're being cautious. You're not just putting everything on the line. The next card you have is anything throughout the next 2 or 3 months in your distant future that will come into play. And you have the King of Pentacles. Now, this is a wise person. This is somebody who understands that it takes hard work to make things happen, that things don't just land in our lap. But success is always, you know, is always available to those who work hard and those who believe. So if you're looking for love, this is somebody who is competent and stable and has a wealth of emotions to give and a wealth of heart energy to give, but you won't just give it to anybody. So over the next month or two, you're going to be presenting yourself as this King of Pentacles. You're going to be presenting yourself, or this King of Pentacles that's coming in, and they're confident, and they're in fact going to help build your confidence and everything. But this is you saying, I am my ability to be a good friend, a good partner, a good lover. My strength is there, and it's just going to continue to build and build and build. And you're going to feel like you have a wealth of love. And I know that sounds weird, but you are. Like, this Fool coming in has a lot of potential suitors. There are going to be people who are looking at dating you or talking to you. There may even be people who come back from your past, although I don't see a ton of that. But again, this is stability, but what I love about it, Capricorn, is it's coming from within you. This isn't stability, you know, this isn't somebody else being stable. This is you being stable. This is you saying, I can handle whatever comes my way. So if you're looking for love, as long as you're in this space of patience and control and self-belief and stability, then you're going to find something amazing, really amazing, because this is the king of greatness right here. If you're looking to reconcile, the king is I really feel like some of you are going to be working on yourselves more than you are trying to make reconciliation happen, because it almost feels like for some of you, it's been too much work. You felt like you've had to put too much work. You feel like that's all you're doing is working on it. Now, I feel like a lot of you are going to be working on yourself instead of working on worrying about what they're up to or worrying about whether you guys are ever going to get back together. It's almost like you're saying, look, I have other things to focus on, and myself and believing in myself. And if you want to be a part of that, you're welcome to come back into my world. But you have to understand I've grown and I have a lot to offer. And if you want to be a part of that, great. Then you're going to need to you know, come 50-50. And if you don't want to be a part of it, it's fine, because I am okay on my own. I'm good. And that's what I think, Capricorn, a lot of you are just, you're ready. If not reconciling is what you want, it's taken you a while to get here, and you didn't know if you'd have the strength to cut ties, but you are. And this is you saying, regardless of what happens, I can handle it. I can be this king, and I'll be stable with or without you. I don't need you. And if I need you, that's not good. But if I want you, that's where you need to be at with that. The next card you have is your immediate future, so the next few weeks and throughout the month of May. And you have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is somebody who is prioritizing. They're kind of getting their ducks in a row, which goes very well with this theme. You had to have your self-belief. You had to have your strength here. In your future, you're as strong as can be. You're stable. You're wise. You're a wealth of love and heart energy and positive energy. And then here right now, over the next few weeks, you're building from this self-belief into what are my priorities and what's important to me and what am I willing to sacrifice and what am I willing to, or what, you know, what type of partner do I want and what am I willing to live with and live without. This is also about self-defense a little bit. So if you're dating, you may be trying to figure out how to maneuver the dating world again, because some of you have been out of it. But it's about strategizing and then getting your priorities straight. So some of you are going, okay, I know what I want. And what I want is either committed relationship or, you know, kids or a family, or, hey, I just want to adopt a dog and have a really cool boyfriend or girlfriend. And, you know, whatever it is to you. And this is you saying, okay, I know what I want. And unless you have that to offer, or unless you're genuine, or unless we're looking for a similar future, it's just not going to work. Because if you're talking to somebody online, I say this in a lot of reads, but if you're talking to somebody online and it says, I want to date but nothing serious, don't expect them to decide to move in with you and have babies, because 9 times out of 10, they mean what they say when they put that on there. And I reference that because I get a lot of different comments sometimes that are interesting to me, where people say, well, he said he just wants to date for now, and then in the future he might be looking for, well, guess what? I mean, you know, I'd love to say that we can change everybody's mind, but it just doesn't happen that way. So if you're single, you're definitely, this whole row is about you and focusing on what you want, but not in a conceited way. It's about taking care of Capricorn. And I think it's been a long time coming since Capricorn has said, you know, this is what I want. I mean, this is the King of Pentacles, your energy. You're a pentacle, a coin. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo are the earth energies that are belonging to this. And this is like, you know, you at its best. So line up what you need to line up. Figure out what it is you want in your life. What's going to make you happy. And then go out and find it. And prioritize and strategize. Does online dating work best for that? Do you belong to a religious group? Would that work better? Do you want to do meetup groups? Are you an avid golfer? Or meetup groups? Are you an avid golfer? Are you a bowler? What's happy? Make the decision to look at what makes you happy and what works for you. If you're looking to reconcile, this is definitely some sort of defense. So this tells me, I really think that like this is 80-20 now. That 80% of you are going to cut some sort of tie, focus on you, and move on and have this new beginning. The other 20% I feel like are going to be kind of strategizing and prioritizing how this person could fit back in your life. But what's most interesting about this is I feel like either way you go, you're going to feel on the defense. If you decide you don't want this person in your life, you're going to cut off all contact. And some of you don't even have contact. But if you decide you're not going to think about them and whatnot, it's funny how the energy works, how the universe works, right? Because the minute you stop thinking about somebody and you end a relationship, or you finally decide to cut that tie, what happens? The person you've been yearning for comes back, right? And so this tells me that some of you, Capricorn, may experience this person coming back and going, what? You're not thinking about, what? You don't want to talk to me anymore? Well, you're not trying to get a hold of me anymore. And I really feel that like you've got to be like, no, I got stuff going on. I don't have time for these games. Like, we're done. We're good. And the other half of you, if you do decide to reconcile, I feel like you're going to be on the defense half the time, explaining yourself or explaining choices you made 5 months ago that may have nothing to do with the current situation at hand. So I hate to say it, Capricorn, but I do feel like reconciliation, in my opinion, is not necessarily the best option for you. All right, the next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month. So anything, you know, that may happen or come to fruition, anything, a situation that may happen. And you have the King of Wands. This could be in the beginning of the month, the end of the month, the middle. It could last for an hour, 2 hours, etc. The King of Wands is an amazing energy. This is somebody that people look up to. So at some point, I feel like if you're single, you're going to be the center of attention. People are going to be magnetized to you because this is a fire energy. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, which is interesting because you have a Leo here too. But this is somebody that people are just drawn to. And I think that's because you're being the best you can be. You're on fire in the sense of you're putting out there the best ethics, the best leadership, the best bold, the best inspiration. Like, you're inspiring people. Have you ever noticed when you're having that really good day and everything feels like things are going well for you, that people start talking to you more, or that people start paying attention to you more, and not just even physically or sexually or flirting or anything, but I mean, have you ever just gone to a grocery store and you're feeling really good and you can notice that, like, there's actually eyes on you, or people want to approach you and talk to you? Maybe the person at the check stand talks to you a little more. Maybe some lady in the fruit stand or fruit area starts talking to you a little more, because when you're feeling your best, people want to engage with you. And throughout the month, I feel like if you're single, you're really going to find people drawn to you because they're inspired by you. They're feeling this strength that you're coming into. I mean, the Fool, you end with this cycle of, okay, I'm tired of being miserable about love. I'm tired of being negative about love. I'm tired of assuming it's not going to happen to me or everything's going to fall to shit. And instead you're going, okay, I'm going to feel like this. Like, yeah, I'm not going to give my heart away right away, but I'm going to love myself, and therefore in turn have the ability to love somebody else. And it's going to be very positive. And this King of Wands is you displaying that, and in turn somebody coming in this month and paying a lot of attention to you because they're inspired just by being around you. Your energy is infectious. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is you saying, look, I'm taking the high road. This isn't going to work. You know, I'm going a different direction. And this may be a very bold step for you because the King is very bold. And the thing is, you may need to be bold to kind of get over the hump of this ex, because I feel like some of you have such a strong connection that unless you can have this authoritative, I can do this energy, you're not going to get there. Now, on the flip side, like I said, I still feel like for some of you, there's a possibility of reconciliation. This is them communicating with you. This is them calling you or texting you or messaging you somehow and saying, hey, I've been thinking about you. You've been on my mind. You've almost been like absorbing my mind. And part of that is this too, you letting go of that. Some of you, it's kind of interesting because some of you have to let go of that energy this month in order to get them to come back, because maybe you've been succumbing to, well, I'm going to text them every once in a while. I'm going to text him or her and see how they're doing, and they don't respond, or they respond a little bit, but they really don't pay you any mind. They're just happy to know that they still kind of feel like they have you hooked. And the King of Wands is saying, no, this month, if they want to have anything to do with you, they're coming forward. You're not playing games anymore. The next card you have is anything internal throughout the month. It could happen again, beginning, middle, end. Anything you're going to feel or experience throughout the month. It could be, you know, for a long time, and it could be hardly at all. Now you have the Page of Pentacles. This is somebody who's hardworking. And you guys are a little more sentimental than Virgo, even though, you know, I love Virgo to death. But you guys have a little more sentiment than Virgo. When I see the Page of Coins for Virgo, I generally start to think that that's them kind of hiding behind work a little bit. Because this is somebody who's very responsible and pragmatic, still having aspirations though. So I guess this would fit you really well, Capricorn, since you are an earth energy, because, sorry, this is you, my nose is all stuffed up. This is you having that practical, still looking at things realistically, but believing in something, having an aspiration. So if you're single, this is you saying, okay, throughout the month, it may not happen as fast as I want, or I may, you know, feel like I'm meeting a lot of people, but I've got to figure out what are my priorities and what do I want. And so this is you saying, even though I'm working really hard at this, and even though I'm going to prioritize and I'm going to figure things out, and I'm going to, you know, have this stability, I'm still going to aspire to meet somebody amazing. And I'm still going to aspire to then they in turn, you know, where you mesh well, where you're working, basically Capricorn, you're feeling like, I'm doing a lot of hard work and I'm putting a lot of hard work into this, but you're also having faith. You're also letting this strength, this patience, knowing that something else is at play here, come in instead of trying to control it like earth signs a lot of times do. Or if you're mad about something, you ignore the situation and work really hard at everything else but that emotional situation. And this is you kind of saying, okay, I'm figuring out how to seesaw both. I'm figuring out how to have that faith and have that hope, but at the same time, being really responsible about it too, because you're an earth sign and that's part of your nature. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not going to focus on this reconciliation anymore. And some of you focused on it really hard, or it took a toll on you. And so you spent a lot of time focusing on that. But then if you couldn't handle it or got too emotional, you focused on work and everything else and threw your mind into that. This is you balancing out. This is you saying, okay, we still have a connection. And if we want to be together, then in time it will happen. But I'm not going to try and force it. And I'm not going to put too much energy into it. And I'm not going to be texting you and calling you. I'm just not. You're going to have to come a little further my direction right now, because I've got a lot going on for me. Really good. I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling inspired inside and out. And if you want to be a part of that, you're going to have to put the hard work into it. Because I feel like some of you have really put some energy into getting back with that person at one point or another, or they did, but they were lackluster, and you're just kind of like, no, that's not going to work this month for me. All right, the next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome. So that's an interesting hopes and fear card. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety, it's about fear, it's about depression. But what's interesting, because it's internal here, some of it is your own. Some of it is like paranoia. And not paranoia in a schizophrenic like way that all of a sudden you need to worry about. This is more, am I doing the right thing? I want to start with reconciliation here, because I feel like a lot of you need to cut some sort of tie, or like I said, you need to cut the tie in order for them to come back, because they're so used to you placating them, or they're used to having this feeling that you're sticking around. And a lot of you are going to be pissed, and you're going to be like, oh, Capricorns don't do that, and we're strong, and we're earth energy, and I get it. But I expect that more from a Virgo. Capricorns understand when their heart is also in the bind, whereas Virgos tend to like to overlook that emotional side. Capricorns are one of my favorite earth signs, because you're balanced really well between the two. You're diligent, you're really hardworking, but you can also have this soft, vulnerable side. And if you're looking to reconcile, you're still going to feel this. You're still going to fear, am I making the right decision? Regardless of whether you decide to cut it off, or regardless of whether you decide to cut it off a little bit, but still have that door open in case they decided to come back, right? Or maybe leave a window open for them. You're going to be wondering, did I do the right thing? Did I make the right decision? And we'll see what happens here. But I think regardless, you're going to come out on top like this king either way. So you shouldn't worry about it too much. It's easier said than done. Of course you're going to worry about it. But the outcome is that as long as you're being true to yourself and you're focusing on what's good for Capricorn, then that's all you need to worry about. The rest will come into play. If you're looking for love, this is you feeling anxious, because I think you're going to have this attraction. These people are magnetized to you. And I think you're going to have one or two people who come through who you're like, hey, this could be a possibility of really belonging, of fitting in my world, of having that fulfillment. And now you're nervous because you're like, whoa, I've been through some stuff. I've had heartbreak. I've had divorces. There's been different things going on. And so even though things are starting to look up, you're a little nervous. You're a little frantic, because I think they're going to make you feel a little more emotional than you're normally used to. And that will always shake a Capricorn up a little bit. The next card you have is your outcome of the month. And you have the Five of Cups. So very interesting. I'm going to be shuffling to pull the clarified cards here for this as well while we're doing that. But the Five of Cups is, this is like a grief, or somebody not paying attention to each other, a sadness. So I'm going to start with reconciliation on this one as well. If you're looking to reconcile, the outcome for you, if you don't hold true to yourself and you let them kind of shake you up anxiously, you're going to end up in the same situation. You're going to end up with some sort of sadness, some sort of grief here. Now, this isn't all bad, because I go completely in cutting them off, which is what some of you know you need to do. You're just not doing it. Sorry, I'm not going to take those because I had like 4 fall out here. So this may be what you need to push you into ending that cycle completely. But this is kind of you guys getting back into like a discrepancy, a fight, and arguing, and you're not listening to each other. And you definitely need to figure this out sooner than later. And I think this month is when you make that decision, Capricorn. I really do. I feel like this month is when you're like, okay, you know, I'm not doing this with you anymore. I'm done. Or you say, we really give it a chance. We're really going to give it a go. But I hate to say it, Capricorn. I feel like it's not going to play out in your favor for reconciliation. And some of you know. And some of you know you'd be better off without. So, if you're looking for love, this is you not paying attention to something that's in front of you. So I feel like you may encounter a few people who could be really good for you, and yet you're missing something here, Capricorn. So you're not like, there's somebody coming in here who admires you a lot, but I feel like you're almost nervous to give them a chance. You're almost nervous. It's almost like you're willing to ruin it because you're worried about them hurting your feelings. Somebody's going to be coming in here pretty fresh with you, Capricorn, and they're going to be like, hey, you know, I'm interested in having something to do with you, and I like you. What's going on? And I think some of you may be a little nervous, but nothing to be nervous about, because now we move into the Ten of Coins, which clarifies your outcome for the month. The Ten of Coins is a beautiful energy. It's about generosity. It's about love. It's technically not about love, but when I like the 9 and 10 of Coins, because especially in the Illuminating the Prophecy deck, because they're obviously very flowery, which to me symbolizes, you know, some sort of love in general. But it's really about generosity, about legacy, about wealth. So it's very interesting because you have the 10 of Coins here, which is a Pentacle card, obviously an Earth energy card. Then you have the King of Pentacles here, and they both symbolize wealth. But what's interesting is it's a wealth and abundance from within. So somebody's coming in, they're going to make you really nervous. They're going to make you feel almost like despair, like you don't know what to do with yourself. I think they're really going to take you by surprise, Capricorn. Like, they're going to shake things up. They're going to shake shit up. If you're single, they're going to be like, hey, I'm coming in. I know what I want. You know, I admire you. I'm like magnetized to you, and it's going to freak you out a little bit. And then you're going to be like, well, okay, how much do you admire me? How much do you like me? I think I could. And what's interesting, and this card is about legacy. It's about excess, which then tells me that there's a possibility that, you know, you guys could, this could be somebody who's very powerful in your future. Somebody who's very, again, has that legacy and has that ability to make you feel like going the extra mile and really making things work. Now, to continue with the singles, you have the King of Cups clarifying another king, the King of Pentacles. And the King of Cups is somebody who's very calm, cool, and collected. This is somebody who's very good at listening. So I feel like you're going to meet somebody, if you're single, who's going to kind of balance you out. Somebody who's going to listen to what you have to say, you know, take that in and allow you to just be exactly who you are without trying to, you know, change you, without trying. Now, there is a little bit of manipulation in the King of Cups, but with this going on, if you're single, it's more of they're going to figure out how they can try and help and be involved in your life, kind of like a fix-it type person. Somebody who feels like they can come in and be like, oh, but I really care about you and I really like you. What can I do to help you in life? I know that sounds strange, but they're definitely going to make you feel like opening up a little bit more, like releasing a little bit more of the heart energy if you're single. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this tells me that some of you may be generous and may give this person a second chance. But I feel like they're going to end up trying manipulation, because the King of Cups, if you're looking to reconcile, is definitely about you listening to the situation, but still not feeling completely uncomfortable, or still not feeling completely comfortable. In fact, feeling uncomfortable. But they're very calm. I feel like this is you saying, okay, I'm listening to what you have to say. I'm being very generous. Some of you may decide to take that leap and say, okay, let's see, can we have this new beginning? But for a lot of you, I feel like in the future, you're going to be like, look, I'm stable without you. I'm feeling stable without you. And unless you can make things more calm, and unless you can listen to me, and we can actually talk about this, some of you may go to counseling. But unless we can work through this in a place that allows me to feel my strength and self-belief, then it's not going to work. So, Capricorn, happy May. I hope you're doing fantastic. I will talk to you soon. Bye.